Hi everybody, how's everybody doing today? Hopefully everybody's having a fantastic day. Before we get started, hi, my name is Teresa and I welcome you all to my channel. If you're new here and you like unboxings, you like getting ready with me with some scary ghost stories, even do makeup try-ons on here. I do animal and nature clips, I do Monday Mess Ladies collab, I do a walk in history, I do Fun Fact Friday, I sometimes do collabs, sometimes I do giveaways on this channel, and guys, I do more. I do random more than just beauty on this channel. Now if you're interested in all the content that I just said, then please are considering hitting the subscribe button down here on the bottom. When you hit the subscribe button, there will be a bell. And when you hit the bell, you'll be notified of when I upload my new video. So today, guys, we are taking a walk into history. And yes, I have been doing the 50 states. I'm on number 12th state, which is the state of Idaho. Um, and I have been excited of learning different things about each state and their history and everything. It has been very, very interesting. And what I do is I piece together some history and I do bios, I do the birthday, and at the end, I do three creepy ghost stories. Because what's a good ghost story when you know there is more history behind a ghost story? In their era, when they lived, when they were living at one time. So, history's always been a part of my life. I love going to forts. I love going to museums and looking and seeing artifacts and just old homes, abandoned homes. I mean, I like everything that has to do with history. So, like I said, I've been doing the 50 states and I'm on number 12th state. So, let's go ahead and get started with Idaho, the gem state. So, what I'm going to do first is there'll also be pictures right up here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read the bio first, which goes from nicknames, mottos, birds, insects, dance, whatever you can think of. I got it written down. All right, so let's go ahead and get started on the bio of Idaho. The nickname for the state of Idaho is the Gem State. The state motto is Let It Be Perpetual. The state anthem is Here We Have Idaho. The state capital is Boise. The amphibian for the state is a tiger salamander. The state bird is a mountain bluebird and a peregrine falcon. The state fish is a cutthroat trout. The state flower is a syringa. The state horse breed is the Appaloosa. The state insect is the monarch butterfly. The state tree is a western white pine. The state dance is square dance. The state food is huckleberry and veggie potatoes. And of course, Idaho is well known for their potatoes. The state fossil is a Hagerman horse. The state gemstone is a star garnet. And the state soil is 3 bear. And that was all the bio information that I could find on the state. And I found these very interesting and love learning their bio. Alright, so the next part is the history part. And like I said, what I do with the history part is I read through the paragraphs and I'll piece paragraphs together to make it more interesting and get your attention and yeah, and learn more about Idaho State. So let's go ahead and get started on the history part. Industries significant for the state economy, including manufacturing, agriculture, mining, forestry, and tourism. A number of science and technology firms are either headquartered in Idaho or have factories there. And the state also contains the Idaho National Laboratory, which is the country's largest Department of Energy facility. But the state is best known for its potato crops, which compromises around 1/3 of the nationwide of yield. The official state nickname is the Gemstone, which references Idaho's natural beauty. Idaho was one of the hardest hit of the Pacific Northwest states during the Great Depression. Prices plummeted for Idaho's major crops. In 1932, a bushel of potatoes brought only 10 cents compared to 1.5 in 1919, while Idaho farmers saw their annual income of $686 in 1929 drop to $250 by 1932. In recent years, Idaho has exported its commercial base as a tourism and agriculture state to include science and technology, having become the largest single economic center, cover 25% of the state's total revenue within the state and are greater than agriculture, forestry, and mining combined. So I found that a little bit interesting about their history and about the Great Depression. I'm always wanting to learn about the Great Depression because back then it was a really, really bad and sad thing that happened. Um, but yeah, they are definitely the potato state. I love Idaho potatoes. All right, so moving on, we are going to do the birthday for the state. So Idaho became Idaho became the 43rd state on July 3rd, 1890. So they just had a birthday, so that's awesome. So they are the 43rd state of the United States of America. All right, now we're moving on to three ghost stories that I found intriguing and very interesting. Some are sad, some are twisted, some are murders, some are, suicides, whatever I could find that would interest you guys. So, let's go ahead and get started with number one. So, this takes place at Canyon Hill Cemetery in Caldwell, Idaho. When it comes to local ghost stories, there are always one or two that really stick in your mind thanks to some of the unique details. In Idaho, one such story is that of a legless jogger who haunts Canyon Hill Cemetery. Apparently, if you are brave enough to drive up to the gates of the cemetery and park your car there around midnight, the apparition of a jogger with no legs floats up to the driver's side window and taps on the glass. I don't think I would be brave enough to be parking there at midnight and just to see a legless jogger because that would just freak me out. I mean, whoo, that would be very creepy. You'd be sitting there tapping on your window. Not me, but I found that a very interesting ghost story. All right, so moving on to number two. This one is called the Bates Motel in Coero de Alin. Now, I know there's a show called Bates Motel, so I wonder if this was based off on the movie or the show was based off on the story that I'm going to read you. Originally, the Bates Motel in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, was officers' barracks both before and during the Second World War I. It was later sold and converted into a motel known as the Roadway Inn. Several years later, it was sold again, this time to Mr. Randy Bates, who renamed it to Bates Motel. This was long before the movie Psycho was ever released, but the name certainly made it popular once the movie did come out. It has actually been suggested that the author of Psycho, Robert Bloch, stayed at the motel sometime in the 50s and kept note of the name. The now iconic Bates Motel sign was put up by production crew in the 80s when a movie was filmed there and was left behind when productions wrapped. Now, the real life Bates Motel may not be as terrifying as the movie version, but it is still considered to be one of the most haunted places in Idaho. Both guests and employees say that there is near constant paranormal activity at the hotel. The majority of the unexplained occurrences seem to be centered on room 1 and 3. Guests who are given these rooms after report getting the unsettling feeling of being watched. They also experience cold spots, strange noises, lights turning on and off, and ashtrays either knocked off tables or simply moved to another spot when no one has been in the room. That, my friends, was a very, very spooky story also. I mean, a lot of hotels and motels are basically haunted. But it was I thought it was a very interesting story, because movie directors doing their movies and stuff there, and yeah, very interesting. What you guys think about that? All right, and our last one, number 3, and this takes place at the Shoshone Indian Ice Caves in Shoshone, Idaho. When we think about haunted location, it is a natural reaction to think only of buildings, but one of the most haunted places in Idaho is actually a cave. Shoshone Indian Ice Caves are a popular attraction for tourists visiting the area. However, long after the tourists have gone and the caves are closed up, it is said that the employees hear phantom footsteps and hushed voices. Some have suggested that it is the Indian princess, Idaho, who haunts the cave since she was buried in the ice many decades ago. And I found that one pretty creepy too. Even though you're a guest, you're not getting it, or the tourist or whatever, you're not getting that experience. But when they close, the employees are getting all these experiences. They're hearing footsteps and voices, and yeah, that would creep me out. And the poor little princess, being buried in the ice decades ago. That's a really sad part about that story. All right, guys, that was my last ghost story, and that was the last bit of Idaho. I hope we all learned something new about Idaho. I've always wanted to go to Idaho, maybe one day. But interesting facts on their history and their birthday, and of course their bio and the ghost stories. I found Idaho a very interesting state. I did find in a part of this that Idaho they basically do not believe in the paranormal. So it is hardly believed in Idaho paranormal. So I was lucky to find these 3 stories to share with you. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. And I hope everybody stays blessed. And I hope everybody stays safe no matter where you are. No matter where you're at, please stay safe. And I'll be seeing you all in my next video. Thank you for stopping by, and you have a great day. Thank you.